All right, let's talk about something huge. Today, we're diving into what is, for so many people, one of the biggest decisions they'll ever make: how to choose a surrogacy agency. It's a journey that's full of hope, but also, let's be honest, it's incredibly high stakes. So, we're going to break down a 2025 guide that's designed to bring some real clarity to what can be a very emotional and complicated process. So, this is the big question, right? How do you possibly pick the right partner, because that's really what they are, a partner, to help you build your family? It's so much more than just a business deal, and the weight of that choice, well, it's immense. And really, when you boil it all down, the analysis we're looking at today says it all comes back to these three pillars: trust, transparency, and real expert guidance. These are the absolute bedrock of a successful journey. They're the non-negotiables you should be looking for from day one.
Okay, so let's get right into the heart of it. This first section is all about acknowledging the challenge. I mean, how do you navigate a process that's so complex and so emotional? The whole point of this guide is to give you a clear, structured path forward, a roadmap, if you will.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty, here are the big headlines from this research. These are the four things that it really hammers home. First, why a New York license is such a big deal for legal protection. Second, how integrated egg donation can be a game changer, especially for same-sex male couples. Third, why you absolutely need a parent-friendly payment schedule. And finally, why global experience is a must-have if you're an international parent. We're going to explore all of these in more detail. Okay, now for the main event. The guide introduces this really useful tool it calls the 4E evaluation framework. Honestly, you should think of it as your compass for this whole process. It's designed to help you cut through the noise and compare agencies in a way that actually makes sense.
So the first E is experience. But look, the guide is super clear about this. This is not just about how many years an agency has been around. Real, meaningful experience means they have a large, diverse pool of surrogates. It means they have specialized services for LGBTQ plus parents, and it means they have proven they can handle the unique challenges that international clients face.
Next up, E number 2, expertise. And this is so important. At its heart, surrogacy is a medical journey. So the guide makes this powerful point that your agency's core team needs to have people with a real medical background. Why? So they can actually read and understand the clinic reports and speak the same language as your IVF doctor. That is a massive advantage.
The third E is endorsement. So what does that mean? Basically, it's all about outside proof. How do you know an agency is legit? This research points to three key things: a formal license, like that one from New York, being a member of professional groups like SEEDS, and, of course, getting a thumbs up from top-tier IVF clinics. These are your trust signals. And the final E is ethics. But this isn't some vague, feel-good concept. The guide defines it with tangible policies that are there to protect you. We're talking about crystal clear fee breakdowns, fair rematching if things don't work out, and maybe the most important one, payment policies that don't put all the financial risk on your shoulders from the very beginning.
Okay, so we've got the framework. Now, let's put it to the test. We're going to apply these 4 E's to the 4 major U.S. agencies that were reviewed in the source material and see how things really stack up in the real world. This table gives us a great side-by-side look. You can see when they were founded, whether they've got that New York license, but I want you to really focus your eyes on 2 rows here: payment point and reported wait time, because this is where you start to see some massive differences that can totally change your experience, both financially and emotionally. Yeah, let's zoom in on those 2 points, because they are absolutely critical. When do you pay, and how long are you going to be waiting? According to this analysis, these 2 factors can dramatically shape your entire journey. So the guide lays out 2 completely different philosophies on payment. On one side, you have agencies that only charge their main fee after a surrogate has been fully screened and medically approved. This model puts way less financial risk on you. But on the other side, you've got agencies that require a hefty payment just to get on a wait list before you can even see a single profile. It's a fundamental difference in who carries the risk. And that payment model, well, it has a direct impact on your timeline. Just look at this chart. It shows the reported wait times just to get to the point of viewing surrogate profiles. For 2 of the agencies, you get to see profiles right away. For the other 2, the guide reports a wait of up to 12 months, a full year, just to take that first step. That's a huge amount of time to be waiting before your journey really even gets started. All right, we've covered the framework and the agency comparison, so now let's tackle some of the most common questions that come up for intended parents. The guide has a great little FAQ section that helps clear up some of the stuff that often causes the most confusion. First up, a big one we've already touched on a few times, that New York license. Why does it matter so much? What's the big deal, really? Here's why it's a big deal. According to the source, New York is currently the only state that requires surrogacy agencies to be licensed. And this is not just a piece of paper. It means there's government oversight. It ensures the agency's contracts, their finances, and all their practices meet a high professional standard. It's basically an extra layer of legal and ethical protection for you and for your surrogate. Okay, this next question is so critical for anyone who's comparing agencies. You see these claims all the time, right? 90% success rates, but can you actually trust that number? The guide urges a lot of caution here. So here's the real story. This research explains that an agency's success rate can be very misleading. Why? Because the success of a journey really depends on the quality of the embryos and the skill of the IVF clinic, things the agency doesn't control. If you want verifiable data, the guide points you to the CDC's website. It notes that a 90% cumulative success rate is possible, but that's typically after about 3 embryo transfers with high-quality embryos. And this quote from the source material just brings us right back to where we started. It really says it all. For intended parents, choosing the right surrogacy agency is about more than convenience. It's about trust, transparency, and expert guidance. At the end of the day, that's what this entire decision boils down to. So, as we wrap up, the final question is really for you. After looking at the 4 E's, experience, expertise, endorsement, and ethics, which of these criteria are going to be the most important compass for your family's unique journey? We hope this breakdown has given you the tools to find the right partner for you.